What's good, YouTube? Quinn Wade basketball analysis coming to y'all with that video of the mock draft review. This gonna be quick. I'm just gonna tell you my thoughts and about trades that's only in the top 1 through 20. Usually only do 1 through 10, but I'm just gonna do both of them in the video. Unless it get too long, then you already know I'm gonna do a part 2. Say that before the video start. DeAndre Ayton going to Phoenix. A lot of people speculated. A lot of people knew. I personally, like I said before, I felt that Doncic was the better player. Ayton is still a good fit for them because he can give you that 20 and 10, give you some floor spacing every once in a while, give you somebody else to help Devin Booker on the other side. On the offensive side of the floor, they definitely needed help. Bender didn't pan out. Alex Len didn't really pan out. And neither did Marquise Chris. So they drafted a lot of bigs. They athletic, they mobile, they can shoot, but they never really panned out or developed and honed all their skills to be the best players they can be. We've seen it with a lot of players. Your teams only give you so many chances, so many years before they move on or find somebody better, whether that's through free agency, whether that's through trade, or whether they're just drafting somebody at the same position and moving on from you. So it's an NBA. It's the business. If they can find somebody better, if they can find somebody cheaper, if they can get a better player in total, they're going to find a way to do it so they can keep winning. It's a business. It's ugly, but it is what it is. Ayton, to me, he's going to get a lot of touches, a lot of minutes. He's going to put up some empty numbers, but it's going to help his growth. They're going to have growing pains. They're going to be frustrated. Sometimes they're going to be even mad at him as teammates. But he's young, and he's going to learn. And the best thing to do is just throw him in the fire because you're already bad. You're already losing. That's why you got the #1 pick. Devin Booker need help. He getting toe up, beat up because he don't have nobody to help carry the offensive load. Ayton should be that guy. Marvin Bagley, I didn't really like this pick for Sacramento personally, but you get a guy that can come in and give you some buckets. De'Aaron Fox need help too, but it just to me they roster is just a lot of young talent. They had some veterans last year. I don't know what they're gonna do this year. But to me, I still don't know what they're trying to do as an identity. I still don't know what direction they're trying to go. I know you can draft best talent available, or you just like this particular player and figure it out. I definitely just got to wait and see on this one. I'm not going to judge it saying it's bad. I might personally not like it, but they have a vision. They have an idea that I don't know. I don't really like Bagley fitting in with the Sacramento team, especially with the bigs that they have. But like I said, the same thing about Ayton. I didn't like that pick for Phoenix, but at the end of the day, they get a guy that can replace Collin Stein. At the end of the day, he might be a better prospect, a better player at this point, so it can speed up the rebuilding. Or at the same time, this is just the best player that they like the most, or best player available for them, and they picked him. So we'll see what they do in the future. Luka Doncic going to Dallas. I already made a video about that, so I'm not going to really cover too much about it. But to me, he was the best player in the draft. He's a shooting guard, small forward. Probably can play the 4 if he get bigger and grow that body out a little bit more. It's going to take some time getting used to the league for him too. He already been playing against men in the other overseas, and he can play make. He can do a lot of stuff. He's advanced for his age, and that's something that's good to find, especially with the Mavericks. Somebody that can come in and contribute right away and has a lot of tools that can become an asset to this team. And like I said, getting the best talent available in this situation is good because they need some backcourt. They need somebody that can handle the ball. They need somebody that can score that basketball. And like I said, they going post Dirk, so they need a franchise guy. And Doncic might be that guy. We don't really know how he's going to pan out in the NBA, so I say that too. But from all signs and things that we have seen, he looked like the best player in this draft, personally to me. And if I'm Dallas, I don't have a problem with taking them at 3 if that's the case. #4, Jaren Jackson. Not a biggest fan of Jaren Jackson either. But Memphis, to me, they didn't really have too many needs and too many holes that they really needed to fill because their duo is Mike Conley and Marc Gasol. They've been able to claw and scratch their way to the playoffs. Jaren Jackson is a project a little bit to me, but he can do the dirty work, do the little things that can help the team win, and he's not going to get too much in the way, and you don't really have to rush to develop him either. So he has potential. We're going to see how he turns out for Memphis. 5, Trae Young. Like I said, we don't know what's going to happen with Dennis Schroeder. At the end of the day, Trae Young can come in there, shoot, score. He's going to take some beatings. He's going to take some poundings. His body not really ready for the NBA. I wonder how he's going to do getting to the paint. He struggled a little bit during the college season. But he'll figure it out. He gonna have coaching staff getting on him. The game is gonna force him to change because at the end of the day, they're gonna continue to force him to adjust. They're gonna take away his positives. They're gonna try to make him turn into what they want him to be offensively, and he just gotta study the film, take time, practice, put the work in, and find counters. And if he does that, he should be fine. But at the same time, the Hawks got to move on. If Dennis Schroeder not happy, you got to move on with the next guy. He's cheaper than Dennis Schroeder because he's on a rookie contract, and the guy has a limited potential if he can really max out being a great offensive player throughout these years. But to me, he's still a project, and he's going to take some pounding and some beating, kind of like what Devin Booker did in Phoenix. Next, Mohamed Bamba. I didn't really like this either. The Magic to me is just abysmal. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. They get Jonathan Simmons, they get Jonathan Isaac, they got Hazonia, they got Aaron Gordon. I don't know what they doing. But whatever they doing ain't working because they've been rebuilding for years and they've been getting lottery picks for years and they've been bad for years. And Mohamed Bamba, I don't know what this is going to do for them because he's not really a great offensive player. He's not really a dominant offensive player. He's a defender. But their defense is terrible and it's real bad. And I don't think he's going to be able to clean that up right away. Neither, and the thing I say about that is we're going to have to see this build on in the years too, because Bamba is not going to solve their problems that they have. And I like it better than them getting Trae Young because everybody kept saying Trae Young was going to Orlando. I'd rather them have Bamba than have Trae Young. But at the same time, they got a lot more draft picks to come because if they don't trade for a superstar, which is going to be hard because they basically depleted of talent. Evan Fournier is a good player. Vucevic, I think they need to move on from him now. If they keep him, he's too. I don't know. At the end of the day, they have a lot more draft picks coming, and hopefully they get it right eventually. But Bamba is a good step forward, but at the same time, they got a long way to go to get this team where it got to go. Wendell Carter, this was a guy that people had going up and down the draft all week. He was able to go in that top 10, number 7. The Bulls got Portis. The Bulls got Lauri Markkanen. Adding another guy that's versatile that can do multiple things is good. I ain't going to really complain. I feel like they could have tried to get a wing like Kevin Knox or Mikal Bridges, but they going to have some cap space. They still developing Chris Dunn, see what he's going to do. They're still developing Zach LaVine, and he's going to be a free agent. So we're going to see how they're going to build, who they're going to build around, who's going to be their main core. I know the best player on the best pick right now is Lauri. He's a guy that shows you that he's the modern day player that you want, but he doesn't show superstar right now. But he's still young, so I'm not putting that pressure on him. Wendell Carter is a good pickup for them. I thought they should have went in a different direction, but they know what they're doing, and I don't know the inside. Collin Sexton. This is a little surprising because once LeBron left Cleveland, they got Kyrie Irving, and now that he possibly going to leave again, it's kind of funny that they get another point guard for the future in Collin Sexton. I personally thought they was going to trade this pick because if LeBron does stay, you want to be competitive, but at the same time, you also got to think about it like this. If he doesn't stay, you still want to get the best talent for your team. And if they feel like Collin Sexton was that guy, even though they have George Hill and all these other players, Collin Sexton is a pit bull. He's a person that works hard, puts a lot of work in. And if he can continue to develop, could be a good pickup for him. Number 9 for the New York Knicks, Kevin Knox. This is a guy I thought was going to go to the Clippers. He ended up going higher in the draft. Honestly, the Knicks needed a forward. They had Nina Kina. They have Kristaps Porzingis. They have Tim Hardaway Jr. They have a lot of pieces on their team, and at the end of the day, it is good to get another forward that can play multiple positions, that can potentially become a star player in this league with the length and with the athleticism, with the size, with that body type. He has unlimited potential, but we've seen a lot of players like him fail. They had a floor. Somebody had him a Wesley Johnson. These athletic, long, streaky shooting wings can be buses. But you do have to have the right personnel around them. You do have to have the right development team around them to get the best out of their potential. And they also have to want to be great. If they get them 3 things from them, this could be a special pickup for them. And to me, if you have Nina Kina, if you have a Moutier, you have big guards, it's good to have another big wing on that team. And like I said, worst case scenario, Tim Hardaway Jr. your shooting guard, and you still do have Kristaps Porzingis coming back. And like I said, if he comes back at the middle of the year, you're going to get a lottery pick anyway because this team is just bad without Kristaps Porzingis. 10 Phoenix Suns, Mikal Bridges. I like this guy. He ended up really getting drafted by the Sixers. They traded for him. Um, he's more of a ready project. He's more of a ready player, more ready player than Josh Jackson. Josh Jackson has years of development to go. Personally, to me, I don't think they gave up on him. I think they know that they're gonna have to work on him a little bit more. Mikal can give you some wing depth. Can shoot that three, doesn't need the ball to be effective, can play off the ball, can play on the ball, can get out in transition, get the steals, get the blocks, do all the little ugly, dirty work things, do the glue guy things, kind of like an Otto Porter or a Harrison Barnes, but he is younger and he never played a game in the NBA, so we got to see how he really performs and how he really plays. And at the end of the day, that's a good pickup for him. Josh Jackson was all over the place last year. I'm not saying that they should give up on him, but at the same time, you do need that insurance of we still want to be competitive. We want to see how we can get the best out of this roster. You got another young prospect in Mikal Bridges. Obviously, I'm surprised that they went up to get him, but at the same time, they had something that they liked about him. That's why they did it. The Clippers, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I'm not the highest on him, but I would definitely say the Clippers. They have a lot of wings with Austin Rivers and Lou Williams. I don't really know what they're gonna do. I feel like the Clippers have more things that they're trying to find out. I think they're trying to still figure out how they're going to scope and mold this roster. So he might be a part of it. He might be off the bench, which I think he will be. But with Jerry West down there, you never know what's going to happen. With DeAndre Jordan maybe leaving, maybe staying, you don't know what's going to happen. So once they figure out, which they should know, which I don't know, but once we start figuring out the direction they're trying to go with this team and how they're trying to build it, this pick will make more sense. Whether he's gone as a part of the plan, or I mean, whether he's not a part of the plan, or he might be a part of the plan. We don't really know. But to me, that's a solid pickup. Not the one I was looking for, but then again, like I said, we don't know why they picked him. Number 12 was a trade. Miles Bridges, I told you guys that I can see Michael Jordan taking this guy. He could have got him at 11, but he got a little bit more. Trading down to get him at 12. I don't blame him. Mitch Kupchak is a genius. He does his job. He's one of the best at it. He was able to get picks from Dwight Howard. He was able to get picks now. Charlotte in a situation where they have a terrible contract in this Nicholas Batum. Only way they really getting rid of that contract if they add in personnel, which they don't really have any players that I really want. And if they can't do that, they're gonna have to either add picks or just eat that contract for Nicholas Batum. If they do that, it don't matter because Kemba Walker is a free agent after this season coming up. And if he goes, you get a young player that you like, and you can go in a different direction. Even if he's not a part of it, you still got the second round picks from Dwight and from this trade to get the picks from this trade. And you can try to swing at a superstar as much as you can with those picks. Or worst case scenario, they like Miles Bridges. We know what he is. He's a solid player, and he becomes an asset when a superstar become available, or you need to make room for one. He's not going to be on a hefty contract. He's one of the more attractive players in this draft, even though he should have came out last year. But he has a championship, so it's validated. I definitely say this Jerome Robertson and Michael Porter Jr. Michael Porter Jr. for Denver was surprising. I was a guy that was high on Michael Porter, but that back injury and his shot didn't look right. He didn't have the same aggressiveness. He didn't have the same scoring. He didn't take over like we thought he would because he came off that surgery. He had to get back in shape. He had to get back in playing mode. And by then, the season was over. So we have a lot of expectations. He was a high-ranked player. He was a player that a lot of people was anticipating to see. He fell hard in the draft. He even gave up his medical things, and he felt confident. He said it in multiple interviews, and the results was people wasn't as high as me, and I can see why a back injury took a lot out of Dwight Howard. He never was really the same. And Michael Porter, he is younger. If he put the work in, he might can recover. But like I always tell you, when you get those significant and major injuries, you're never the same. You're never going to be the same. Athletically, physically, you can feel better. The pain might go away a little bit, but you're never 100% after that. And that's a massive surgery that he had on his back, and he didn't even look right when he played those couple games. He looked far from what he was in high school. And like I said about Dwight Howard, after he came back early from that back surgery and he tore his labrum, in LA, his career was basically over. The knee injuries just made it go by even faster, and he was never the same. So you got to watch out for those major injuries. It sap you out of your athleticism and your mobility. Um, 15, Washington Wizards, Troy Brown. They need that. And that's something that Wizards fans already know. I don't really have to say it. To me, the Wizards just need to draft best talent available because Otto Porter, Bradley Beal, and John Wall making way too much money for what they have accomplished. They haven't even went to the Eastern Conference Finals. I like this team, but they're not good enough to really go over the hump, and no pick was really going to take them over the hump. And I feel like in this draft, to get Troy Brown, that's not bad. And on top of that, you need somebody to come off that bench because they can't afford players, and most players don't want to go to Washington because they know they're not a contender. Only reason why veterans would go to Washington is so they can still play in the NBA. Other than that, they have to go through the draft to get people on them cheap, affordable contracts that can come in and contribute. And I think Troy Brown is one of those guys, and that's what they're going to have to continue to do as long as they got them three making that type of salary. The Sixers get Zaire Smith. They don't really need another guard. They got a lot of guards already on their bench, and Markelle Fultz is probably going to be their sixth man anyway. But it's not bad. I don't really have much to say about that. Dante DiVincenzo, same thing. You got Brogdon, you got Bledsoe, you got Chris Middleton. You have Tony Snell. You already got enough perimeter players. This, to me, is more of a long-term move. They want to get the best talent available. Plus, if, like the Terry Rozier situation happens where you have too much depth at one position, you can trade to get a player you want, or you can just, let the players go and you have somebody that can come up under them. So, DiVincenzo, I don't really see him getting that much playing time, but if he do, it's because he worked hard and he earned it. But with Brogdon, Bledsoe, Middleton eating up those minutes, and you still got like Deli in them, it's going to be hard for DiVincenzo to really get off that bench. Lonnie Walker, Spurs move, a guy that's athletic. They need more athletes. They need more athleticism, especially if Kawhi Leonard leaves. Danny Green is eventually going to be a free agent. So you want somebody to take his spot so you don't have to eat his contract. Even if he takes a pay cut like he did last time, you still want some insurance just in case he leave. Danny Green ain't as highly touted as he was before, but it's good to have a backup plan for him, especially in the draft, because now you got a guy 3 to 4 years with a lot of potential to be great. And he got a high upside, and you got Greg Popovich and one of the best coaching staffs and development teams in the game. And this guy looks good, but he is raw, and he does need to polish up a lot of his game. And this is the perfect team for him to do that. And like I said, they have players that's coming up. Rudy Gay is gone. We don't know if Danny Green is going to stay. So having another wing guy that has a lot of potential that you can really develop if he wants it, that looks very nice to have. So Kevin, Atlanta Hawks, they have Kent Bazemore. We don't really know what they're doing. I'm just going to go out there and say it. Is they going to keep Dennis Schroeder? They're going to keep Bazemore? Or they going to try to rebuild from the bottom? We don't really know what they're going to do. But like I said, at this position, this is a solid player that you know what you're going to get out of him. So that's a good pick. And I'm going to end it with the number 20 pick, Josh Okogie for Minnesota. They're a team. Jamal Crawford opt out. So I think he's going to become a free agent. And you need a guy that can replace him. Why not just get this guy at the end of the day? Because you can just bring him in, let him do his job, and when he's ready to play, you plug him right in. Thibodeau's hard. He don't really play young players that much unless he really has to. So he might not get that many minutes. But this team, to me personally, they need to get, just like I said about like Washington, they need to get as many cheap contracts with people that can actually play up to them to come in and contribute, because they don't have that much cap space for Wiggins and Jimmy Butler, and Towns going to be getting paid. So you need those bargain free agents or those summer league undrafted players, or you need these later first round, second round picks. Draft somebody that can come in and contribute, and you'll be good for the playoffs, because their only goal is to make the playoffs and contend for a title, which you have that big three. And I don't really see them doing it, but we don't know how good they can get. Currently, Towns still got untapped potential, so do Wiggins. But at the end of the day, one thing I would say is, once you drafting with like they are, these young players and these players, you know what you're going to get is more valuable Just like I said about the Spurs, getting a guy you know what you're getting and you know what you need to do and you know what you can do with them is always good. And like I said, you have these hard-nosed coaches that really want you to play and work hard. And I think he can do it, and they need these type of players anyway because they really can't afford to go in free agency and get anybody significant, especially because they ain't really that deep anyway if you look at their roster, and this add another solid player onto that. Check out my website, analysisplayground.com. Link in the description, comment section below. Check out my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com. Link in the description, comment section below. Like to show support and like the video if you enjoyed it. Quinn Wade basketball, now so I'm gone. And let me know what you guys think about the NBA draft. And let me know if you agree with what I said. If you don't, you don't. You do, you do. But continue to watch.